Hello, welcome to our nutrition webinar series here at Campus Recreation at SJC. A little bit about myself. My name's Tony Wright. I am a health and wellness promotion major at St. Joe's. I'm a senior this year, and I'm working with Jenna Chase. And for the month of March, for Healthy Nutrition Month, we're going to be bringing you guys a nutrition webinar series every Thursday night at 7. So, for those who can't make it, we're also going to do these recordings and show you what you might have missed for the week. So to start things off, we're going to do our first one right now. This week's kind of a foundational week. We're just going to lay the framework for going forward, give you some basic nutritional information. Today, we're going to be talking about fats, proteins, and carbs, and everything in between. So I'm going to get the presentation going now. All right, so facts about fats, carbs, proteins, and everything in between. A nutrient overview. So there are 6 primary nutrients. So we've got fats, protein, carbohydrates, water, vitamins, and minerals. Fiber is also important, and we're going to touch on that later. So we're going to start with the macronutrients. So macronutrients are the nutrients that we need in large amounts, hence the name macro. They're most commonly associated by the 3 energy-yielding macros, which are known as carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. But there are also 2 other nutrients we require in quite large amounts, water and fiber. But again, we will talk about those. We've got slides for those coming up. So let's start with fats for macros. So fats are the most calorically dense macronutrient with 9 calories per gram. Fats function as components of all cell structures, have a role in the production of hormones, and act as padding to protect organs. Some examples of healthy fats include nuts, avocados, fish, olives, and chia seeds. Fats continued. So we can classify fats into 4 major dietary forms that we consume. There are saturated fats, which are typically solid at room temperature. These mainly come from animal sources such as butter, bacon, sausages, etc. There's also trans fats, which primarily consist of partially hydrogenated oils. These are commonly found in fried foods and baked foods. And then we have our monounsaturated fats and polyunsaturated fats. These are typically liquid at room temperature, but become solid when chilled. Monounsaturated fats include olive oil, canola oil, peanut oil, and polyunsaturated fats include soybean oil, corn oil, and sunflower oil. So general recommendations for these 4 major dietary forms is you want to avoid trans fats as much as you can and try to limit your consumption of saturated fats. Let's talk about carbohydrates. So carbohydrates acts as the major source of energy and dietary fiber for the body. These only provide 4 calories per gram, but as opposed to fats, which are more calorically dense with 9 calories per gram. And carbs are broken down into units of glucose, which is the most efficient form of energy for the body. Your brain and nerve tissues require glucose for fuel. Some examples of healthy carbs include fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Carbohydrates continued. So carbs can be categorized as simple or complex based on the length of the sugar molecule chains. Simple carbohydrates, known as mono and disaccharides, include fruits, honey, sweeteners, syrups, vegetables, milk, and milk products. Whereas complex carbs, also known as polysaccharides, so many sugar molecule chains, include grains, legumes, potatoes, also some fruits and vegetables as well. Complex carbs contain more nutrients and fiber than simple carbs, so it's important to add some complex carbs to your diet. So what about fiber? So fiber is a non-digestible component of food, carbohydrates, that is essential for the digestion and excretion of wastes. It helps to keep things moving along our gastrointestinal tract, along with the help of water. And the average recommendations for daily fiber intake, men, you want to aim for about roughly 30 to 40 grams of fiber a day, whereas women, probably about 20 to 25 grams of fiber a day. Protein. So protein also provides energy and performs many functions in the body, such as repairing cells and making new ones, growth and development. It allows metabolic reactions to take place and is involved in the immune system response. Similar to carbs, protein provides 4 calories per gram. So let's talk about quality of protein foods. So when we're talking about protein, we got to talk about amino acids. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein. And in these, we have essential amino acids, in which there are 9. And these are called essential amino acids because we need to include them in our diet. Our body isn't capable of making it on its own or making them on its own. So it's important we get them in our diet. So examples of foods, sources of protein that are complete proteins because they contain all essential amino acids are animal proteins, quinoa, and soy. There's also non-essential amino acids, in which there are 11. Our body's able to make these, so it's not as important that we get them in our diet, but I'm not going to say it's not important at all because it is still important to get them in there. And the best forms of protein contain the best balance of assortments of both essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids for protein synthesis. 2 examples of really good sources of protein that have that good combination are eggs and human milk. And I'm not going and saying everyone should go drink human milk right now. That's a little outdated for probably how old we are watching this. But examples of protein excess that can lead to detrimental health effects include increased risk of coronary artery disease, some cancers, and osteoporosis. Water. So water is also considered a macronutrient because we need large amounts of this nutrient. It provides the body with no energy, but it's essential for life and bodily function. All of our cells and organs in the body require water to function. So your average daily recommendations for water consumption, you're able to calculate this based on your body weight, but if you're looking for a more general recommendation, men, you're probably aiming for about 13 cups of water a day, and for women, it's about roughly 9 cups of water a day. Let's talk about the micronutrients. So micronutrients, so that means smaller amounts of this nutrient. And then we have 2 subgroups of micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals. Let's talk about vitamins. So vitamins are compounds that indirectly assist other nutrients through processes of digestion, absorption, metabolism, and excretion. There are 13 vitamins, each with their own specific function. These are primarily found in fruits and vegetables. And as you can see, we've got some examples on the left for you. Let's talk about minerals. So minerals serve structural purposes in the body and are found in body fluids. There are 16 essential minerals, which can be categorized as major and trace minerals. Minerals are primarily found in fruit, vegetables, dairy, meats, legumes, and fish. Common minerals you've probably heard of: calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium. Yeah, so let's talk about how to shape your plate now. So we've got the Harvard Healthy Eating Plate on our left here. And using something like this, or if you've heard of the My Plate, can help make designing your meals a lot easier because you're not thinking about, oh, what's the percentage of macros I'm getting? Like, am I getting 50% of my calories from carbs? Am I getting 30% from fat? Am I getting 20% from protein? Whatever your goals are. This just gives you an actual visual representation of how you can design your plate and get pretty close to those macronutrients. So something like this can be very helpful to people who are a lot more visual. So now we've got an activity for you to do. So this is going to be count the calories. We've got 3 problems here, or 3 little activities. So how many calories are in the following foods with these measurements of grams of carbs, fats, and protein? I even gave you guys a little cheat sheet to remember that 1 gram of fat is the most calorically dense macronutrient with 9 calories per gram. And then both carbs and protein have 4 calories per gram. So for question 1, we have 1 ounce of cashews that has 9 grams of carbs, 12 grams of fat, and 5 grams of protein. I can give you guys a second to pause the video and get your calculators or phones out to try to solve this. So, all right, I'm going to pretend that you paused and you're back with an answer. So for question 1, the answer is 164 calories. Let's move on to number 2. So for this, we have a bagel, for our example, that has 48 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fat, and 10 grams of protein. Give you another chance to pause the video. Welcome back. So for number 2, the answer is 250 calories. Now let's move on to our last one. We have one boiled egg with 1 gram carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 6 grams of protein. Give you guys another chance to pause the video. And for number 3, we have 73 calories for the one boiled egg. So here are my sources and references from our slideshow. I'm back here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this webinar series. Again, if you can join us, that's 7 p.m. on Thursdays all throughout the month of March. We're going to bombard you with emails every Thursday. We're going to send one out just to try to get more people to come. Shoot us an email at wellness@sjcme.edu to reserve your spot, and we will go ahead and invite you to our Google Meet. So we hope to see you there. We have good discussions after our presentations, and if there's anything you'd like me to talk about in a future presentation, I can look to add that to what we've got scheduled. So I hope to see you guys the next one, and let's keep eating healthy throughout this month.